Many people have been talking about this course on Twitter and on Discord and all over the place. So, we are talking about the Hugging Face course, which has just recently been released. I believe it was last week, so that was circa May 14 to 21, something like that. Now, if you go to Hugging Face, their main page, you will be seeing this notification. You might not see it if you're actually going to check it out at some point in the future, but as of right now, you can see this notification Hugging Face course, and it takes you straight into chapter 1. So, what is this all about? Hugging Face. Many people associate Hugging Face with Transformers, but Hugging Face is basically a very open source repository of models, data sets, users, as you can see here. So we're talking about AI models. I've been using it a lot for language models for transformers. And most specifically, I've not actually been using it to download the models themselves, but I've been using Hugging Face for actually using their API inference. So they allow you, instead of downloading the API, instead of downloading a language model, they actually have an API reference, API inference, where you can actually call a lot of the models that they have here via an API, and the pricing is $10 a month. But they're not the best in terms of pricing, and I keep saying this. They provide you around 300,000 characters. Yeah, 300,000 characters for $10, which is not a lot. It's actually very little for $10. So they should actually be doing something about it because I think this is more expensive than GPT-3. So of course, you don't have the um, for GPT-3, actually, you need an invitation, but right now, this is expensive. So for $10 a month, for $9 a month, 300,000 characters, if you say that one word is roughly 5 characters, that's 60,000 words. And if you're using a large model, for example, a long form or long former or big bird, where you can generate long form content, you can actually spend those credits in like 10 minutes by doing 10 API calls. So it's not a lot. You guys have to do something about it. Now, let's go back to the course. So, this course will teach you about NLP using the Hugging Face ecosystem. Transformers, datasets, tokenizers, and accelerate, as well as the Hugging Face hub. So, I would say that this is actually very good for someone who has knowledge who has general knowledge of machine learning and of basic algorithms, because if you don't know anything about machine learning, you jump straight into a course, into a natural language processing course, you won't probably be understanding anything. So I think you should have a little bit of a, not a little bit, you should probably have some good basic knowledge of machine learning. So therefore, you'll be introduced to transformer models, how to use them, fine tuning. I'm not actually sure that a lot of people are gonna be using fine tuning. Maybe some researchers, but the general user and maybe some businesses as well. But it's good to know. Then you'll have the dataset library, the tokenizers library, NLP tasks, and this is really important, and how to ask for help. Advanced, specialized architecture, speeding up training, a custom training loop contributing to Hugging Face. Alright, so these are the prerequisites. Good knowledge of Python, So better taken after introductory deep learning course, such as the one from Fast AI, as well as deeplearning.ai. Of course, those have prerequisites in of themselves. So, for example, if you go to deep learning, you'll probably see the prerequisites: um, basic machine learning, basic math, statistics, and much more. Let's see. AI for everyone. What are the prerequisites? Doesn't say. So it says you don't need to have any technical or business background prior to taking this course. And if we look what you will learn, the meaning of basic AI, including machine learning, data science, you will also learn what ML and data science workflows. Okay, so this is a paid course, but I think you can take the course for free. You can audit the course on Coursera. And here, practical deep learning for coders. Let's see. Doesn't say much about prerequisites here. A lot of people assume that you need all kinds of hard stuff, but as you'll see in the course, these people are wrong. Here's a few things you absolutely don't need. Just high school math. Well, you basically don't need anything if you work at a very high level. If you just if your interaction with deep learning models is just from an API perspective, you don't need anything. But if you're someone who actually debugs learning models and algorithms, you won't be able to do it without a solid knowledge of algorithms in of themselves, as well as the mathematics behind those algorithms. Now, anyways, back to Hugging Face. Do not expect prior PyTorch or TensorFlow knowledge, so they do not expect, though some familiarity with others of those. Of course, to be able to actually operate on a very high level with the stuff on Hugging Face, you probably don't need much of anything. But if you are the kind of person who actually wants to get very deep or wants to understand everything from basics, from the first principles, you'll probably want to dive deeper. Alright, authors: Matthew Carrigan, Lysandre Debut, Lysandre Debut, probably French. Sylvain Guger or Gugger, okay. So we have someone who's been working with Fast AI. Now, next section. So you have Introduction to Natural Language Processing, Transformers, of course, and you also have the YouTube playlist. So they have a YouTube playlist. Transformers, how do they work? Encoder models. So decoder models. We also have encoder decoder. Sequence to sequence. You have some notions about bias and limitations, and of course a summary and end of chapter quiz. So this was actually the first the first chapter. Then in the second chapter you will be learning how to use transformers via the pipeline. You'll see the models, which of course you can access over here. Let's see how many models are there currently. 10,400. And if we do by, we can see that BERT, so bidirectional encoder What does R stand for? And its transformer. So let's see. Bidirectional transformer. Encoder representations from transformers. All right. So you have tokenizers, which are really important. They also go into handling multiple sequences. So far I haven't taken this course, but I'm really excited about it, and I'm actually going to go through it mostly because I want to have a um, very high level understanding of the entire field. I do have specific knowledge. I can see the trees. I'm in the forest. I'm among the trees, but I want to be able to better see the forest from the trees. So I want to take a higher level perspective, and going through a transformers course, which is like standardized course, it actually gets you a very good perspective on everything. Now, then you have the fine tuning. So this would be chapter 3. Talks about processing the data, full training, fine tuning, and then the 4th chapter is about Hugging Face, how to use pre-trained models, building a model card, which is important if you're contributing to the platform, and all that stuff. So back to the basics. So we have chapter 0. Let's go back to chapter 1. So far we have chapter 1 to 4. These are published, so this course is undergoing. In chapter 5, chapters 5 to 8, so this is going to be completed. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 completed and online. Then we go 5 to 8. Hopefully they're going to be released soon. So they're going to go into main NLP tasks, and I'm probably going to get back to this at a later point in the future. And then chapters 9 to 10, really interested in advanced stuff, so I'm actually really looking forward to this. Okay, so far so good. I might be doing more videos on the Hugging Face. Maybe I'm gonna do a video on the API inference to actually show you how it can work. All right.